Long before today's major religions spread across the world, ancient civilizations developed their own belief about gods, nature, life, and death. This religion shaped culture, politics, and everyday life. Although each civilization had unique tradition, they all tried to answer the same question: who created the world? Why do disasters happen? What happened after death? And how should humans live? Religion was not separate from society in ancient time. It influenced king, laws, farming, festival, architecture, education, and even warfare. Understanding these beliefs help us understand ancient history itself. Let's begin with one of the world's earliest urban civilization, the Indus Valley Civilization. It flourished around 2600 to 1900 BCE in present-day Pakistan and northwest India. Unlike Egypt or Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley left no readable written record. Its script remained undeciphered, so historians reconstruct its religion mainly through archaeology and artifact. Because the script cannot yet be read, scholars must be careful. Many ideas about Indus religion are educated interpretation rather than confirmed historical fact. Excavations have uncovered terracotta female figures. Many researchers believe they may represent a mother goddess connected with fertility, agriculture, and the creation of life. If this interpretation is correct, fertility was probably highly valued. Successful crops, healthy families, and the continuation of society depended on nature's ability to produce life. Another famous discovery is the Pasupati seal. It shows a horned figure seated in a posture that resembles meditation, surrounded by several wild animals. Some scholars think this figure may represent an early form of the Hindu god Shiva as lord of animals. Others disagree, reminding us that this connection remains uncertain. The seal teaches an important lesson. Historians distinguish between evidence and interpretation. Good history accepts uncertainty when available evidence is limited. Many Indus cities also contain large public baths. The most famous is the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro, one of the civilization's greatest architectural achievements. The Great Bath suggests that water had special religious importance. Rituals bathing may have symbolized purification, preparation people for sacred ceremonies or community rituals. Small stone objects resembling later Shiva lingas have also been found. Some researchers connect them to fertility worship, but their exact religious meaning remains debated. Archaeologists have discovered sacred trees, animal symbols, and protective amulets on seal and pottery. This object suggests that nature plays an important role in religious belief. Animals like bulls, elephants, rhinoceros, tigers, and mystical creatures appear frequently in Indus art. They may have symbolized strength, protection, and spiritual power. Unlike Egypt, no massive temple or giant statues of kings have been discovered. This suggests that religious life may have been more community-centered than ruler-centered. Burial practices in the Indus Valley are relatively simple. Graves contain pottery, ornaments, and everyday objects, suggesting some belief in life beyond death. Overall, Indus religion appears closely connected with nature, fertility, water, animals, and ritual purity. Even with many unanswered questions, it laid foundation that may have influenced later tradition. While the Indus civilization remained mysterious, because of its unread script. Another civilization left thousands of written records. Mesopotamia developed between the Tigris and Euphrates River in present-day Iraq. It is often called the cradle of civilization because many early cities first appeared there. The Mesopotamians believed in many gods and goddesses. Every force of nature, every city, and many human activities are thought to have their own divine protector. Unlike some later religions that emphasize one supreme god, Mesopotamian religion was strongly polytheistic. The universe was governed by a large family of powerful deities. The sky god An, the storm god Enlil, the water god Enki, the love and war goddess Ishtar, and the moon god Sin are among the most important deities. Each city considered one god or goddess its special protector. The city's prosperity depended on keeping the deity pleased through worship, offering, and festivals. Temples stood at the center of every major city. These are not only places of worship, but also center of administration, education, trade, and food storage. Towering above many cities are massive stepped structures called ziggurats. This impressive building symbolizes the connection between heaven and earth. People believe that the gods control floods, drought, harvest, victories, diseases, and political success. Humans survive dependent on maintaining harmony with these divine powers. Priests serve as intermediaries between humans and the gods. They organize rituals, interpreted omens, and supervised important religious ceremonies throughout the year. Mesopotamians believed the gods communicated throughout signs in nature. They carefully observed stars, eclipses, animals' organs, dreams, and unusual events to predict the future. This practice encouraged the growth of astronomy and mathematics. Scientific observation originally developed alongside religious effort to understand divine messages. The Mesopotamian creation stories describe the universe emerging from chaos as the gods established order. These myths explain why the world existed and humanity's place within it. One famous story says humans are created to serve the gods by maintaining temples, performing rituals, and supporting the divine order through their daily work. Their view of the afterlife was generally gloomy. Most people expected to enter a dark underground world regardless of whether they had lived good or bad lives. This belief made earthly life especially important. Success, family, and prosperity in the present often receive greater attention than hope for a joyful afterlife. Religious festivals brought entire communities together. Music, prayer, offering, and public celebration strengthened both faith and social unity. Kings also had religious responsibilities. They are seen as chosen by the gods and ruled with divine approval, though they are usually not considered gods themselves. Religion shaped Mesopotamian laws as well. The famous Code of Hammurabi declared that justice came from divine authority, giving laws sacred legitimacy. Mesopotamian religion influenced many later civilizations through its myth, astronomy, temple tradition, flood stories, and ideas about divine kingship. As Mesopotamia looked to powerful gods ruling from magnificent temples, another civilization along the Nile developed a religion centered on eternal life, cosmic balance, and the journey beyond death. Ancient Egypt flourished along the Nile River for more than 3000 years. The Nile gave life to the land. So Egyptians believed nature reflected the power and generosity of the gods. Like the Mesopotamians, the Egyptians are polytheistic. They worship many gods and goddesses, each responsible for different parts of the universe and human life. The sun god Ra was among the most important deities. Every sunrise symbolized victory over darkness, reminding people that order could overcome chaos each new day. Another center god was Osiris, the ruler of the underworld. He became a symbol of resurrection, hope, and life after death for millions of Egyptians. Osiris. Isis represented motherhood, healing, love, and magic. Her devotion to Osiris made her one of the Egypt's most beloved and widely worshipped goddess. Their son Horus was represented as a falcon. He symbolized kingship, protection, and justice. Every Egyptian pharaoh was believed to rule under Horus' divine authority. The god Anubis, recognized by his jackal head, guided soul through the journey after death. He was closely connected with mummification and funeral ceremonies. The Egyptians believed that death was not the end of existence. Instead, it marked the beginning of another stage of life in the eternal world. To prepare for this new life, they carefully preserved the dead through mummification. They believed the soul needed the body to remain recognizable after death. The Egyptian soul was thought to have different spiritual parts, including the Ka and the Ba. Together, this aspect allow a person to continue existing after death. The famous book of the dead contained prayers, spells, and guidance. It helped the deceased safely travel through the dangerous underworlds towards eternal life. One of Egypt's most important beliefs was the judgment of the dead. Every soul would stand before Osiris to be judged for the life they had lived. During the judgment, the heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at. Ma'at represents truth, justice, balance, and the moral order of the universe. If the heart was light because the person has lived honestly, the soul entered eternal paradise. If it was heavy with wrongdoing, the soul faced destruction. This belief encouraged moral behavior throughout life. Religion was not only about worship but also about living truthfully and maintaining justice. The pharaoh was considered both king and a sacred figure chosen by the gods. His duty was to protect Ma'at and maintain harmony throughout Egypt. Magnificent temples are built to honor the gods. Priests perform daily rituals, offer food, incense, music, and prayer to maintain divine favor. The pyramids are far more than royal tombs. They symbolize the pharaoh's journey towards eternal life and reflected Egypt's extraordinary religious devotion. Religion inspired Egyptian art, architecture, writing, and science. Almost every achievement of ancient Egypt was connected in some way to its spiritual belief. While Egyptians focused on eternal life after death, the civilization of Greece would explore a defined question: how gods interact with human emotion, choices, and destiny. Ancient Greece developed rich mythology filled with powerful gods, heroic adventure, and fascinating stories that explain both nature and human behavior. The Greeks believed in many gods who lived on Mount Olympus. Unlike distant creators, these gods often acted with human emotion and personalities. Zeus ruled as king of the gods. He controlled thunder, lightning, and the sky, while maintaining order among both gods and human. Hera protected marriage and family. Poseidon rules the sea, while Hades governed the mysterious underworld where the soul of the dead resided. Athena represented wisdom and strategy. Ares symbolized war. Apollo guided music and prophecy, while Artemis protected nature and wild animals. Each Greek city often had a special patron deity. Athens honored Athena, believing her wisdom protected the city's people and guided its success. The Greeks built magnificent temples to honor their god. The structure reflected beauty, balance, and harmony, values that shaped Greek civilization itself. Religion involved sacrifice, prayer, festival, athletic competition, and dramatic performance. Worship united communities and celebrated the relationship between human and the divine. One of the most famous religious centers was Delphi. People traveled from across Greece to seek guidance from the oracle of Apollo. The oracle delivered mysterious messages believed to come from Apollo. King, generals, and ordinary people all sought advice before making important decisions. Greek mythology explained natural events through stories. Thunder, changing season, love, jealousy, and even earthquake are connected to the action of the gods. Heroes such as Heracles, Perseus, Odysseus, and Achilles become examples of courage, intelligence, determination, and the consequence of pride. The Greeks believed that excessive pride, called hubris, offended the gods. Humility and self-control are seen as important virtues. Another important idea was fate. Even the gods could not always escape destiny, teaching that some events are beyond human control. Greek philosophers later began asking deeper questions about religion. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle searched for truth using both reason and observation. This marked an important turning point. Religion and philosophy began working alongside each other, encouraging people to examine belief through logical thinking. Mystery religion also became popular. This offered sacred ritual and promised personal spiritual transformation and a happier existence after death. Greek religion greatly influenced literature, art, theater, and political thought. Its myths continue to inspire books, films, and modern storytelling today. As Greek culture spread across the Mediterranean, its gods and ideas reached another rising civilization that would adopt them into its own religious system. That civilization was ancient Rome, where religion became closely connected with government, citizenship, and the expansion of a vast empire. Ancient Rome began with simple local religious tradition, but as the empire expanded, it adopted belief from many conquered cultures, creating one of history's most diverse religious systems. Like the Greeks, the Romans believed in many gods. However, they focused strongly on duty, discipline, tradition, and maintaining harmony between human and the divine. The chief Roman god was Jupiter, ruler of the sky and protector of the Roman state. He was similar to the Greek gods Zeus, but held a uniquely Roman identity. Juno protected marriage and women, while Minerva represented wisdom and learning. Mars, the god of war, was especially important because Rome became a powerful military power. Neptune ruled the sea. Venus symbolized love and beauty. Mercury guided travelers and merchants. And Vulcan was associated with fire and metal working. The Romans believed that every home had protective spirit. Families honored these household deities with daily prayer and offering, making religion part of everyday life. Religion was closely connected with the Roman government. Public ceremonies, festivals, and sacrifice are performed to ensure peace, prosperity, and success for the entire empire. Priests organize ritual according to strict tradition. They believed every ceremony had to be performed correctly because mistake might offended the god. The Roman also practiced divination. Priests observed the flight of birds, lighting, and the behavior of sacred animals to understand the will of the gods. As Rome conquered Greek, it adopted many Greek gods. Zeus became Jupiter, Hera became Juno, Athena became Minerva, and many myths are adapted into Roman culture. Although the names change, the Romans reshaped these gods to reflect Roman values such as loyalty, discipline, military strength, and public service. Another unique feature was emperor worship. Some emperors are honored as divine after death, and later some are worshipped even during their lifetime. This practice strengthened political unity. Respect for the emperor became both a religious duty and a symbol of loyalty to the Roman Empire. Rome was generally tolerant of many religions, as long as they did not threaten public order or refuse loyalty to the state. As trade expanded, mystery religion from Egypt and the Near East spread across the empire. This religion offered personal salvation and hope for life after death. In the 1st century CE, Christianity emerged within the Roman Empire. At first, Christians faced persecution because they refused to worship the emperor or Roman gods. Over time, Christianity gained more followers. In the 4th century, Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity, changing the religious future of Europe forever. Later, Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire. This marked one of the greatest religious transformations in world history. Roman religion demonstrated how belief system can evolve by absorbing new tradition while also supporting political authority and social stability. While Rome connected religion with law and empire, ancient China developed religious tradition that emphasize harmony, family, morality, and the balance of nature. Ancient Chinese religion developed over thousands of years. Instead of focusing on one religious system, China combined several traditions that influenced each other. Early Chinese people believed that nature was filled with spiritual forces. Mountains, river, forest, and the heaven are respected as sacred part of the universe. Ancient worship became one of the most important practices. Families believed their ancestors continue to influence the lives of their descendants even after death. People offer food, incense, and prayer to their ancestors. This ritual expressed gratitude and strengthened the connection between generations. The ancient Chinese also believed in Shangdi, the supreme heavenly power, who govern the universe and watch over human affairs. Later, the idea of heaven or Tian became central. Heaven was seen not only as a place but also as the highest moral force in the universe. Chinese ruler claimed the mandate of heaven. According to this belief, heaven gave the right to rule only to just and moral king. If ruler become corrupt or cruel, natural disaster, famine, rebellions are seen as signs that heaven had withdrawn its support. This idea encouraged rulers to govern responsibly because political authority depended on moral behavior rather than simply inherited power. Around the 6th century BCE, Confucius introduced teaching that emphasized ethics, education, respect for parents, honesty, and social responsibility. Confucianism focused less on supernatural questions and more on building a peaceful and morally disciplined society through good character. Around the same period, Laozi inspired Taoism. Taoism taught that people should live in harmony with the Tao, meaning the natural way of the universe. Instead of controlling nature, Taoism encouraged simplicity, balance, patience, and allowing life to flow naturally without unnecessary struggle. The famous concept of yin and yang also became influential. It teaches that opposite forces work together to create balance and harmony. Yin represents qualities such as darkness, rest, calmness, while yang represents light, activity, and energy. Neither is superior, both are necessary. In the 1st century CE, Buddhism entered China from India. Over time, it blended with existing Chinese tradition and created a new form of religious practice. As a result, many Chinese people followed Confucian ethics, practiced Taoist rituals, and accepted Buddhist teaching at the same time. This flexible approach allowed different traditions to coexist instead of competing. Religion become a way of maintaining harmony in both society and nature. Chinese civilization shows that religion can focus not only on gods and worship but also on morality, family, balance, and responsible government. Now that we have explored all 6 civilizations, we can compare their belief and discover the common pattern that unite humanity across ancient history. All 6 civilizations believed that human life was connected to a higher power. Whether called gods, heaven, or sacred forces, the universe was never seen as random. Most civilizations are polytheistic. The Indus Valley, Mesopotamian, Egyptian, Greek, and Roman civilization worshipped many gods with different responsibilities. Ancient China was different. While it respected spiritual beings, it placed greater emphasis on heaven, ancestor, morality, and harmony rather than many powerful gods. Nature was sacred everywhere. River, the sun, animals, mountains, and the changing season are viewed as a sign of divine power and essential to human survival. Religion also supported political authority. Egyptian pharaohs, Mesopotamian kings, Roman emperor, and Chinese ruler all connected their authority with sacred belief. Ideas about the afterlife differed greatly. Egyptians developed detailed belief about eternal life, while Mesopotamian imagined a darker underworld, and Chinese tradition emphasized honoring ancestors. Greek and Roman religions focused more on human character, civic duty, and relationship with God, while Chinese tradition emphasized moral living and social harmony. Despite these differences, every civilization used religion to explain creation, guide morality, strengthen communities, and provide hope during uncertainty. Ancient religions are far more than systems of worship. They shape civilization by influence law, government, art, science, education, literature, and everyday life. Even today, many modern ideas, symbols, festivals, ethical values, and religious traditions have roots in these ancient civilizations. Studying these religions help us understand not only the past but also the shared human search for meaning, purpose, justice, and our place in the universe. Although their beliefs are different, every civilization asks the same timeless question. Where did we come from? Why are we here? And what lies beyond this life? Those questions continue to inspire philosophy, science, and religion even today. By exploring ancient civilization, we better understand both human history and ourselves. The story of ancient religion reminds us that across culture and continent, humanity has always searched for truth, order, hope, and a deeper connection with the world around us. If you are still watching, I hope you are finding this content useful. Please like and share this video, subscribe to the channel and share your thought in the comment. Your support motivates me to create even more content like this.